I was maybe 5 minutes from home, hauling a trailer full of dusty camping gear after 3 straight weeks of military reserve training in the desert. My skin was sunbaked. My uniform smelled like MREs and sand. And all I wanted was a hot shower. That's when a beat-up Dodge Charger with a cheap red and blue dash light cut across the road in front of me, forcing me to a stop like I was a wanted felon. Out stepped a guy who looked like he lived for bootleg cop shows. He had mirrored sunglasses, a knockoff badge, and a name tag that read Deputy Danny. Behind him, arms crossed like she owned the world, was none other than Beverly Granger, the ex-president of the local HOA and self-appointed neighborhood warlord. She'd been ousted months ago for overstepping, but clearly hadn't gotten the memo. Danny swaggered up like he'd just walked out of a recruitment ad and barked, "License, registration, and any military identification." I stayed in my truck, half the window down, sipping lukewarm lemon water. You pulling over delivery trucks too? Or just the dusty ones? Beverly scoffed. "You're leaking dirt onto our roads. That trailer is a health hazard." I stared at the guy's fake badge. It said, Neighborhood Safety Authority. What even is that? I muttered. He doubled down. "You're non-compliant. Step out of the vehicle." I didn't move. I just glanced in the rearview mirror and smiled. Because rolling in behind me was a full military convoy. Flatbeds, Humvees, officers, soldiers, dust clouds still trailing. Every single one of them knew me. And not a single one looked amused. Danny kept ranting about bylaws and community enforcement like he'd memorized Beverly's script. Beverly, meanwhile, was pointing at my tires like I'd brought in a biohazard. Then she clapped her hands and said, "Detain him, deputy. He's being aggressive." That's when Captain Morales, tall and calm as a mountain, stepped out of the lead truck. She glanced at me, then at Danny and his flashing dash light from Amazon. "What exactly is happening here?" she asked. Beverly stormed forward. "This man is violating our street ordinances. He's a threat to the community." "Ma'am," Morales replied, her voice smooth but steel-edged. "This is a returning Army sergeant. You're illegally detaining him. And unless your authority extends beyond fantasy, you need to step back." Before Beverly could launch into one of her HOA tantrums, another voice cut through the air. "She doesn't speak for us." Enter Ellen Moss, the real HOA president, holding a board removal notice with Beverly's name on it in bold. "You were voted out after threatening to tow people's cars for crooked mailboxes. You have no authority." Beverly twitched. Danny tried to discreetly remove the flashing light from his dash, but a nearby MP had already started filming. Morales gave a nod. "Impersonating law enforcement is a crime. Exit the vehicle. Now." Danny sputtered about being part of a volunteer safety task force, but it was game over. Soldiers flanked the Charger like they were breaching a bunker. Beverly started yelling about conspiracies, lawyers, and her sacred duty to protect the cul-de-sac. I leaned on my truck, sipping the last of my water, watching karma unfold in HD. Turns out, Beverly had been harassing military families for months, fining them for dusty bumpers, threatening to report them to base command, and even citing a kid for skateboarding. The neighborhood had been too intimidated to push back. Until now. Dashcam footage. Witness statements. Photos of Beverly peeking through fences, writing fake citations, and organizing HOA patrols. Captain Morales plugged in my dash cam and reviewed everything on the hood of her Humvee. Beverly's screeches faded with every click. Morales shook her head. This isn't enforcement. It's targeted harassment. Beverly tried to play the victim. I was just doing what needed to be done. No one else would. Ellen crossed her arms. Because it wasn't needed. You were terrorizing people. You once cited someone for an unapproved wind chime. The neighborhood had finally had enough. Danny was separated for questioning. Beverly was escorted home pending charges. Someone even posted a photo of her in full fake uniform at a Halloween party last year, proof she'd been planning this delusion for a while. The story exploded online. Memes, news stories, and a brutal headline. Fake HOA cop pulls over soldier. Gets surrounded by military convoy. But here's the kicker. A week later, I was invited to join the actual HOA board. Not to be another enforcer, but to help reset the culture. We drafted real community safety guidelines in partnership with local police. No more cosplay. No more intimidation. As for Beverly, she got 50 hours of community service and was banned from participating in HOA matters for life. The vest she wore during trail cleanup said, in big black letters, "Not a cop." Last time I saw her, she couldn't even look me in the eye. Funny how quickly fake power evaporates when real authority shows up. And all I had to do was stay in my truck and let the convoy do the talking. What do you think about all this? Should neighborhoods take safety into their own hands? Or is that a recipe for disaster? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm dying to hear what side you're on.